Hi everyone, my name is Riley. I am a 17-year-old high school student, and my life turned upside down in a single second on a football field. Before that day, I was just a die-hard tomboy who hated makeup, floral dresses, and boy drama. I lived for sports, getting dirty, and playing football with the guys. It was the final championship match between my team, the Bulldogs, and our biggest rival, the Knights. The sky was clear, and the cold afternoon air smelled of sweat and grass. The crowded stadium vibrated with thousands of screaming fans. My heart pounded against my chest pad, with my helmet pulled down tight to hide my short hair and face. The score was tied in the final seconds. My best friend and favorite teammate, Declan, gave me a small nod and snapped the ball. He dodged a defender and threw a perfect spiral pass straight into my hand. I grabbed the ball and sprinted toward the end zone with everything I had. Heavy boots chased me from behind. Suddenly, a massive player cut me off and tackled me violently to the ground. My shoulder slammed into the turf, knocking the wind out of me. But I refused to give up. I grunted, broke free from his tight grip, and lunged forward to score the winning touchdown. The crowd went wild. My teammates hoisted me onto their shoulders, cheering out loud. But my joy died instantly when I saw the guy who tackled me talking to the referee and pointing right at me. I looked at the name on his jersey. It read Cody. He was the Knights star player, a handsome, popular, and extremely arrogant guy. The referee blew a sharp whistle, freezing the entire stadium in silence. Cody stepped forward with a glare. He shouted out to everyone that I was actually a girl, claiming he felt my feminine body when he tackled me. Declan immediately stepped up, pulling me behind his strong frame. He glared at Cody and asked what the big deal was. Cody scoffed, arguing that a girl had no right playing on a boys' team while disguised as a dude, adding that I was not even properly registered in the league. Declan did not back down. He pointed at the scoreboard, reminding everyone that I was the best player who scored more points alone than the entire Knights team. Tension exploded on the field. The referee stood between both teams, rubbing his temple. After a tense moment, the referee announced that having an unregistered female player was unfair. He revoked our touchdown and handed the championship victory directly to the Knights. I stood there in total shock. Declan turned around and placed a gentle hand on my shoulder. He said we had a great season because I was there. As my team walked away in defeat, I glanced back at Cody. He gave me a smug look, enjoying every bit of my pain. I clenched my hands into tight fists. In my mind, I promised myself that Cody had just made an enemy for life. I wanted nothing more than to wipe that smirk off his face, but I had no idea my chance for revenge would come so soon. It all started a few days later because of my best friend Nola. Nola has been my best friend since childhood. She is the girliest girl you will ever meet, and she is the only girlfriend I hang out with. Normally, I ignore her endless boy drama, but that afternoon was different. Nola sat on my bed, crying her eyes out over a guy she was in a complicated relationship with. She sobbed about how they had been together for a while, but she caught him seeing another girl today, and he completely ignored her when their eyes met. I rolled my eyes and told her casually that bad things happen. But then Nola wiped her tears, turned dead serious, and begged me to help her get back at him. I jumped back and refused immediately, telling her I had no interest in getting mixed up in toxic relationship drama. Nola shook her head and explained that this guy was so charming that any other girl she asked would just fall in love with him. She insisted that I was the only girl immune to his charm. When I asked who she was talking about, she mentioned Cody Nelson, the star footballer. My heart skipped a beat. Cody Nelson, the same guy who stripped away our championship trophy. Suddenly, my bored mood flipped into fiery determination. I told Nola that what Cody did was absolutely outrageous, and I agreed to help teach him a lesson and back her up. Nola immediately laid out her detailed plan. We would ruin Cody's image in front of other girls and make him fall deeply in love with me at the same time, only to dump him hard and break his heart. But since Cody only had eyes for feminine girls, Nola insisted on giving me a complete makeover. She called over Halsey, a talented makeup artist from our school with a wild, bold personality. Halsey arrived, looked closely at my face, and joked that we definitely could not seduce a guy with my current look. She nudged me with a wink, teasing that lots of girls were probably falling for my tomboy charm instead, which made my cheeks burn hot with embarrassment. Next, Nola and Halsey dragged me to a crowded clothing store. The second I saw racks lined with frilly dresses, my instinct told me to run. But they caught me instantly, shoving me into a small dressing room. I had to try on dozens of ridiculous dresses. Halsey tried training me to walk like a proper lady, placing a heavy book on my head while threatening me with a ruler behind my back. She even made me practice a curtsy, which I did with a completely uninterested face, wondering who even curtsies anymore. Then came the slow dancing lesson. I tried to demonstrate my dance skills by confidently doing the robot, but they looked completely unimpressed. Without warning, Halsey wrapped her arm tightly around my waist, pulled me close, and forced me to follow her step. Right at that moment, two random girls walked by us, whispering to each other about how cute we looked together and how only girls truly understand each other. I panicked, wondering if we looked like a real couple to them, and quickly broke away from Halsey. I told myself to stay cool, reminding myself this humiliation was all for sweet revenge. The next morning, I brought my new princess look to the school hallway, catching the attention of drooling boys everywhere. As I waited near the lockers, Cody walked up and stopped right in front of me. He looked at me curiously, asking if we had met before because I looked familiar. My heart hammered against my ribs, worrying he recognized me from the football match. But then he flashed a flirty smile, telling me he must have seen me in his dream. I breathed a sigh of relief. Cody asked for my phone number on the spot, and just like that, we started going out. Our dates were pure torture for me. Sitting on a park bench with Cody, I felt extremely nervous without Halsey and Nola guiding me. I crossed my legs properly and tucked my short hair behind my ear, constantly reminding myself to act like a ladylike princess outside my natural habitat. Cody looked totally absorbed, complimenting me that I looked like an actual princess. Later at a restaurant, my mouth watered at the massive burger on the menu, and my stomach growled with hunger. But to keep up my fake act, I choked back my appetite and ordered a small salad instead. Cody cooed softly, telling me how cute it was that I ate like a little bird. I forced a polite smile while screaming in frustration inside my head. Being a girly girl was exhausting. A few days later, I sat on the bleachers by the outside basketball court, watching Cody score with a cool slam dunk. But even after several dates, Cody still had not announced anything official between us. He kept winking and blowing kisses at other girls fawning over him, which annoyed me to no end. Realizing Nola's plan was moving too slowly, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I secretly poured some estrogen powder into Cody's protein shake sitting on the bench and texted Nola to come watch the show. Sure enough, the next time Cody dunked the basketball, he moved in a hilariously dramatic, feminine way. Shortly after, he bumped into another player, fell to the ground, and started rolling around while whimpering in pain like a giant baby. I burst out laughing from the bleachers, and I could see Nola standing by the entrance doors, laughing just as hard. I felt completely satisfied with my prank. Suddenly, Declan walked over and sat down right next to me on the bleachers. He scanned my face with a curious look. My blood ran cold, and a nervous sweat broke out across my forehead. I quickly looked the other way, praying my best buddy would not recognize me in this embarrassing princess outfit. Out of nowhere, a stray basketball came flying straight toward my head at full speed. Before I could react, Declan's quick reflexes kicked in. He pulled me behind his back and caught the fast ball with his free hand. Looking at his strong back, my face flushed bright red. Cody immediately dashed over, looking worried, and asked if I was all right. I stammered nervously, pointing at Declan and explaining awkwardly that his friend here saved me. Declan seemed to realize what was going on, asking in a smooth tone what a pretty girl like me was doing at a sports event like this. Cody stepped between us, thanking Declan for saving his girlfriend and stating firmly that he could handle things from here. Declan gave me one last look and walked away. Cody pulled me into a tight hug, sighing in relief that I was safe. Behind us, a group of Cody's fangirls began gushing out loud, swooning over how sweet, soft, and cute Cody was acting. I turned around in total shock, shouting back at the girls to stop calling him soft and cute because he was not that kind of man. The fangirls backed away in fear, apologizing quickly and agreeing that he was indeed a manly man. Cody chuckled softly, looking down at me with a warm smile. He commented that he did not know such a little girl had such a loud voice, adding that he was happy to have me by his side. Then he asked if I would come to the upcoming fundraiser carnival with him, promising to make an official announcement to everyone there about our relationship. I stood there frozen in place, wondering if this guy was actually serious. I stood there frozen in place after Cody walked away, still trying to process his sudden invitation. I knew I had to keep up the plan, but my mind was in complete chaos. When I arrived home that night, I saw a familiar figure waiting outside on my front porch. It was Declan. I looked down at my ridiculous girly outfit, then looked back up at him in complete panic. My chest felt tight with embarrassment. Declan looked at me calmly and said that it really was me back at the basketball court. I let out a guilty sigh, asking him why he did not say anything when Cody was standing right there. Declan explained softly that I looked so nervous and acted like I did not know him, so he did not want to embarrass me in public. Then his face turned serious. He asked me when I started going out with Cody, and why I was changing myself so drastically for a guy like him. I took a deep breath and explained everything to Declan. I told him about Nola's revenge plot, and how I was using this opportunity to get back at Cody for stealing our football championship trophy. Declan let out a long sigh, pointing out that our team was actually in the wrong for letting me play in a male league in the first place. I stubbornly argued back that I did not care, and that Cody still had to pay for ruining our season. Without waiting for his answer, I turned around and stormed straight into my house, leaving Declan watching me go with a worried look. When I walked into my bedroom, Nola was already sitting on my bed waiting for me. She told me she had heard my entire conversation with Declan outside. She said it finally made sense why I was suddenly so interested in helping her. Then her voice turned cold and stern. She warned me that no matter my personal motives, my main goal was to ruin Cody's reputation in front of everyone. She told me firmly not to get sidetracked. Taken aback by her strict tone, I agreed that I had no choice but to go to the fundraiser carnival with Cody. On the day of the carnival, I arrived at the crowded festival grounds dressed in my usual tomboy clothes. I spotted Cody waiting near the entrance gate. Panic instantly set in. I could not show up looking like my normal self without Halsey's magic touch. But Halsey was currently dancing her heart out at the Coachella Music Festival all the way in California. Suddenly, Cody turned his head and our eyes locked across the crowd. I frantically scanned my surroundings for the nearest exit, but Cody narrowed his eyes and began walking straight toward me. Just as I was about to run, a strong arm wrapped around my waist from behind and spun me around. It was Declan. He pulled me close to his chest, placing us so close that our faces were only inches apart. From a distance, we looked just like a couple about to share a romantic kiss. Cody spotted us, assumed I was just some random tomboy hanging out with another guy, and gave up looking for his princess. He turned around and walked away into the carnival crowd. I watched from over Declan's shoulder as a few other girls tried to approach Cody, but he politely declined them all. He kept looking around the crowd, clearly searching for me. A strange guilt washed over me. I wondered if Cody was actually not the terrible guy Nola made him out to be. Declan looked down at me, saying Cody did not deserve this revenge plot against him. I looked down at my shoes, agreeing quietly that I did not expect Cody to act so loyal. Declan added gently that Cody clearly liked me a lot, and advised me to stop this whole scheme and just be myself. A brief silence fell between us under the warm glow of the setting sun. I looked up at Declan's jawline and soft eye. He looked surprisingly charming in the evening light. I wondered to myself if he had always been this handsome without me noticing. Declan caught me staring and flashed a teasing grin, asking if I had suddenly noticed how handsome he was. I stammered, admitting he could be quite a catch, and asked why no girl had tried to sweep him off his feet yet. Declan's smile faded slightly. He answered, in a quiet voice, that maybe some had tried, but none of them were ever interesting enough. Then he stared directly into my eyes, stating softly that he already had eyes for someone else. My face flushed bright red. My heart slammed against my ribs like a trapped bird. Completely flustered, I broke free from his hold and backed away awkwardly. I made up a quick excuse that I was starving and needed to grab a bite to eat, then turned around and ran away as fast as my feet could carry me. Declan stayed behind, smiling softly to himself. Later that night, I entered my dark bedroom, still confused by what had happened at the carnival. Declan was just a buddy I had known for years, so I could not understand why my stomach felt like it was doing cartwheels whenever he looked at me. I reached out and flipped the light switch on. A figure was sitting silently in the dark on my bed. I let out a sharp gasp, freezing in fear until I realized it was just Nola. Nola jumped up with an excited look, declaring our mission a total success. I stared at her in confusion. She held her phone right in front of my face, showing me an Instagram story Cody had just posted. The caption read that he was taken and fully committed to his beautiful girlfriend Riley. Nola cheered, saying Cody had finally made our relationship official to the public. She told me excitedly that all I had to do now was dump him publicly at school to destroy his pride. I looked at Nola, my heart heavy with doubt. I told her softly that this scheme had gone on for far too long. I confessed that I was sick of pretending to be someone I was not, and added that I did not think Cody was actually a bad guy. Nola's excited expression instantly turned furious. She yelled that Cody was definitely a jerk, asking angrily if I was actually falling for him. Without waiting for my answer, she stormed out of my room, warning me not to disappoint. The next morning, Nola showed up at my house with Halsey, who had just returned from California. Nola announced that today was cultural exchange day at school, making it the perfect time and place to dump Cody in front of everyone. Feeling completely exhausted and too tired to start another fight, I let out a weary sigh and agreed to follow them. When I arrived at school for cultural exchange day, my mind was still spinning from Nola's pressure, but as I walked past the outdoor courtyard, I bumped directly into Declan. Seeing him face to face felt immensely awkward after I had abruptly run away from him at the carnival yesterday. But before I could make an excuse to slip away, Declan invited me to join him in the school's burrito eating competition. Looking at the giant pile of food, my mouth watered. I had been starving myself on salads for days just to act ladylike for Cody. It was such an attractive offer that I could not possibly say no. We sat down at the long table, side by side, and began shoveling burritos into our mouths. One by one, the other competitors gave up and dropped out, groaning in defeat. Man, I was born for this. Eventually, Declan and I were the last two standing. Declan paused, looked over at my determined face with a warm smile, and raised his hands in surrender. I had won first place, Overjoyed by the victory, I stood up and jumped into the air, cheering out loud. Without even thinking, I threw my arms around Declan and hugged him tight. The moment I realized what I was doing, I awkwardly let go of him and turned away. I placed my hand over my chest, feeling my heart racing wildly against my rib. I wondered to myself if my rapid heartbeat was just the adrenaline from eating 12 giant burritos in 15 minutes, or something else entirely. After the contest, Declan and I walked around the school grounds to digest all that food, while I proudly carried a plastic trophy that read 12 XXL burritos in 15 minutes. Suddenly, Cody stepped right into our path. His jaw dropped in utter disbelief as he read the words printed on my trophy, asking if I had actually won a burrito-eating contest. Panicked that my delicate princess image was crumbling, I shoved the trophy directly into Declan's chest, telling Cody that the trophy actually belonged to Declan. Cody glared at Declan, asking what I was doing with him anyway since I was his official girlfriend. Declan pulled me firmly behind his back, glaring back at Cody. He declared that Cody did not even know the real Riley, stating boldly that I was his. I interrupted frantically, telling Declan to stop talking nonsense, then turned to Cody, begging him not to listen to Declan so we could just leave. Declan held my arm tight, grunting that I was not going anywhere with Cody. Cody's eyes narrowed, and he began rolling up his sleeves, asking what Declan meant by that. I panicked completely, shouting at Declan to let go of me because he was being annoying. I turned back to Cody, saying Declan was acting crazy and that we needed to walk away immediately. Declan's face flushed with deep frustration and hurt. He shook his head in total disbelief, asking if I was really telling Cody he was crazy. Then he turned straight to Cody, blurting out that I was the exact same girl Cody had exposed during the Bulldogs versus Knights football match. Declan revealed to Cody that I was only dressing up like a girly girl, as a plot to get back at him for stripping away our championship victory. Without another word, Declan turned on his heel and stormed off, leaving a heavy silence behind. Cody stood frozen in shock, looking at me with a questioning glare, waiting for an explanation. I looked down at my shoes and admitted quietly that it was all true. I confessed that I had started this whole scheme to get back at him, because stripping away our winning touchdown felt so deeply unfair. I told him through trembling lips that I had worked my butt off for that game and scored the winning goal, only to have my hard work stolen away simply because of who I was. Cody looked at me, his expression softening completely. He offered a sincere, gentle apology, explaining that he was under immense stress that day because his team was losing. He reassured me that he had not done it to discriminate against me personally as a girl, adding that he was truly sorry for the pain he caused. I was taken aback by his word. His apology was so honest and warm that all my anger completely melted away. Cody chuckled softly, commenting that it was a real pity. I asked him what he meant, and he admitted with a small smile that he had actually fallen really hard for my girly act. I smiled back, telling him that was sweet of him. I proposed a deal, promising to make it up to him by bringing my real, authentic self as his friend to prom. I added that if he really liked the pretty feminine look, I knew the exact girl he should meet instead. Cody laughed and agreed to the deal, extending his fist for a friendly bump. Standing far in the background, Nola glared at the two of us with her hands clenched into tight fists, her face red with pure fury. Before Cody walked away, he looked back at me and mentioned that if he had known the truth earlier, he would not have acted so poorly toward Declan. He added softly that Declan looked deeply hurt when I chose Cody's side during the argument. That evening, I sat in my dark bedroom feeling absolutely horrible about what I had said to Declan. Even when he disagreed with my revenge scheme, he had always been there to protect me. Yet, I had treated my best buddy in the world like a crazy jerk in front of his rival. Halsey showed up at my house and asked to sleep over. Tired, I told her she could make herself at home, as long as she left me alone. Halsey let out a sigh, saying she could not leave me alone after seeing our fight that afternoon. She admitted that she kinda admired Declan for speaking his heart, adding with a teasing smile that he was unlike someone in this room. I asked her what she was talking about. Halsey looked me dead in the eye and asked directly if I liked Declan. My face burned hot, and I stammered nervously that we were just homies. Halsey pushed further, asking if what I felt for Declan was truly the same as what I felt for my other male teammate. Her words forced me to look back at everything that had happened recently. I remembered how Declan had protected me from the flying basketball, how tightly he held me at the carnival under the sunset, and how my chest pounded when I hugged him after the eating contest. My feelings for Declan were definitely not the same as anyone else. Halsey lost her patience, calling me an idiot and stating firmly that I clearly loved him. But she reminded me that my harsh words this afternoon must have hurt him deeply. I looked up at her helplessly, asking what I should do next. Halsey suggested that I ask Declan to be my date to the upcoming school prom. A wave of hope washed over me. Asking him to prom was the perfect way to redeem myself and make things things right with Declan, but my stomach churned with anxiety, knowing I was still too scared to face him and talk to him right now. So the next morning, I sat at my desk and poured my heart out onto paper. I apologized to Declan, confessed my feelings for him, and asked him to be my date to prom. Just as I was folding the letter, Nola stormed into my room, demanding to know why I had not dumped Cody. I explained that Cody was actually a good guy and revealed my feelings for Declan. Nola's angry face perked up with a strange look, and she offered to hand-deliver the note to Declan for me. Over the next few days, I checked my phone constantly, but no message ever came. My heart sank. Tears filled my eyes, assuming Declan was too hurt by my past actions to respond. Seeing me heartbroken, Halsey cheered me up and suggested we go to prom together as dates instead. She gave me a subtle, natural makeover that made me feel like myself again. When Halsey and I arrived at the prom, my jaw dropped. Standing near the entrance was Declan, and right beside him as his date was Nola. Before I could process it, Cody walked up, smiling and complimenting my natural look. But Declan stepped forward with a cold glare, asking bitterly if I was happy spending time with my so-called enemy. His harsh words shattered my patience. I snapped back, and a fierce argument broke out. Halsey suddenly yelled at everyone to be quiet, turning to Declan and asking why he never replied to my letter. Declan blinked in total confusion, asking what letter she was talking about. We turned directly to Nola. After a tense silence, Nola burst into tears. She confessed that she had hidden my letter because she was furious that I abandoned her revenge plan against Cody. I told her softly that I never abandoned her, explaining that I wanted to give her and Cody a fresh, honest start. Cody stepped up, admitting he always liked Nola but thought she hated him. Nola sobbed, admitting she was just playing hard to get. Cody smiled warmly, lifted her chin, and asked to start over, pulling her into a sweet hug. As a slow song played, Declan gently pulled me onto the dance floor. He looked into my eyes and asked what the letter said. My cheeks flushed as I confessed that I apologized and asked him to prom. Declan smiled softly, confessing he had liked me from the very first second he met me. He had only hidden his feelings because he never knew how I felt. In that single moment, all the noise around us faded away as we danced throughout the night. I realized that trying to play games and seeking revenge only creates pain and misunderstanding. True happiness comes from having the courage to be honest, drop your walls, and speak your heart to the people you love.